Chapter 4. The Yoga of Wisdom. The Blessed Lord said, "This imperishable yoga I declared to Visata. Visata communicated to Manu, and Manu told to Ishvaktu, thus received by royal succession. The royal sages knew this. In a long time, here this yoga was lost, full scorcher. This same ancient yoga is declared by me to you today, since you are my devoted friend. This is the supreme mystery," Arjuna said. "Later was your birth, earlier the birth of Visanta. How shall I understand that you declared this so in the beginning?" The blessed Lord said, "Many of my births have passed away, and yours too, Arjuna. I know them all. You do not know, full scorcher. Though being a birthless, imperishable soul, through being lords of being, controlled my own nature, I come into being by the magic of my soul. Whatever a decrease of justice occurs, Bharata, and an uprising of injustice. Thus I give forth my soul, for the protection of the good, and for the destruction of the evildoers. For the purposing of established justice, I am born from age to age. Whoever truly knows my divine birth and action, having left the body, does not go to rebirth. This one comes to me, Arjuna. Passion, fear, and anger gone, absorbed in me, relying on me. Many purified by disciplined knowledge have attained my existence. Whoever approaches me, I love them. People everywhere follow my path, Partha. Wanting successful actions, they worship gods here. Quickly in the human world, successful action comes. 4 castes were brought forth by me, according to the distribution of the action qualities. Although I did this, know me as the imperishable non-doer. Action do not affect me, nor desiring their fruit. Thus whoever understands me is not bound by actions. Thus knowing action done by the ancients was also for the seeking of liberation. Therefore, you do actions as they were done earlier by the ancients. What is action? What is inaction? Even the poets were confused about this. I shall explain to you this action, which knowing you will be liberated from evil, being enlightened about action and also wrong action, and being enlightened through inaction. The way of action is profound. Whoever perceives inaction in action and action in inaction is enlightened among people. This one does all action united. The one whose every understanding is without desirous intention has consumed actions in the fire of knowledge. This one the enlightened call learned. Having abandoned attachment to the fruit of action, always satisfied, independent, even while engaging in action, one does not do anything. Hoping for nothing with soul control, consciousness, abandoning every possession, performing action with the body alone, one occurs no guilt. Content with spontaneous gain, transcending duality, free from envy, indifferent to success and failure, even when one acting is not bound. With attachment gone, liberated through established knowledge, action undertaken as a sacrifice is completely dissolved. God is the offering. God is the gift poured out into the fire of God by God. God is attained by one who contemplates the actions of God. Some yogis practice sacrifice to the divine. Others offer sacrifice in the fire of God by sacrifice. Some offer hearing and other senses in the fires of restraint. Others offer sound and other sense objects in the fire of the senses. Others offer all sense actions and all breath actions in the yogic fire of self-restraint, kindled by knowledge. Material sacrifices, discipline sacrifices, yoga sacrifices are thus some self-study of knowledge sacrifices, and aesthetics are of sharpened vows. Some author inhalation into exhalation, also exhalation into inhalation, restraining the breathing paths, intent on controlling the breath. Others regulating food offer inhalations into inhalations, all knowing sacrifice by sacrifices destroy wrongs. Those eating the sacred food left from the sacrifice go to eternal God. Not even this world is for those not sacrificing. How, then, the other best accrues? Thus sacrificing of many kinds are spread out in the mouth of God. Knowing them all to come from action, knowing this, you shall be released. Better than the sacrifice of material possessions is the knowledge, sacrifice, full scorcher, all actions without exception, Bharata, is completely comprehending in knowledge. Know this by respect, inquiry, service. Knowers who pursue the truth will teach you knowledge, which, knowing you should not fall again into delusion. Son of Pandu, by this you shall see every being in the soul, then in me. Even if you're the most evil of all the evildoers, by the boat of knowledge you should cross over all wickedness. As wood kindled by fire is burned to ashes, Arjuna, the fire of knowledge burns all actions to ashes also. No purifier equal to knowledge is found in the world. The self perfected in union in times finds that in the soul. The trusting gains that knowledge which is supreme, controlling the senses, gaining knowledge. One attains supreme peace without delay. The ignorant and untrusting and self-doubting are lost. Neither this world nor that beyond, nor not nor happiness is for the self-doubting. Union renouncing action, action severing doubt, soul composed, no actions bind, wealth winner. Therefore, severing ignorant produces doubts in the heart, with the knowledge sword of the soul. Establish union and rise, Bharata. Commentary. The main theme of this chapter is how to attain the transcendental knowledge of the self and the ultimate reality through the path of action. It also deals with the origins and purpose of Krishna's incarnation, the nature and types of sacrifices, and the characteristics of a wise person. The chapter begins with Krishna revealing that he is transmitting an ancient teaching to Arjuna, which he taught to the sun god Vishwana at the beginning of creation. He says that this eternal science of yoga was passed down through a succession of saintly kings, but was lost over time due to the influence of ignorance. He says that he is reviving this knowledge for Arjuna, who is his devotee and friend. Arjuna asks Krishna, how could he have taught this knowledge to the sun god, who is much older than him? Krishna clarifies that he is not an ordinary human being, but the Supreme Lord himself, who is unborn and eternal. He says that he descends on earth by his own will and power. Whenever there's a decline of righteousness and an increase of ego, he says that his birth and activities are divine and transcendental and cannot be understood by material logic. Krishna then explains that one who knows the secret of his divine birth and works can attain him and become free from rebirth. He says that many such great souls have attained him in the past by following his teachings. He says that one should perform one's duty without attachment as a sacrifice to him. He says that this is the essence of karma yoga, or the yoga of action. Krishna also explains that sacrifice or worship has many forms, such as offering material objects, performing austerity, studying scriptures, practicing meditation, etc. He says that all these sacrifices are meant to purify the mind and heart from selfishness and ignorance. He says that the best sacrifice is the sacrifice of knowledge, which is attained by seeking guidance from a genuine spiritual master. He says that by such knowledge, one can cut through all doubt and illusions and realizes one's true identity as the soul. Krishna then describes the quality of a person who has attained self-realization through karma yoga. He says that such a person is free from desire, anger, and greed. He says that such a person is content with whatever he has and does not depend on anything external for his happiness. He says that such a person is detached from both pleasure and pain and neither praises nor criticizes anyone. He says that such a person is steady in his mind and intellect and sees God in all beings. He says that such a person is serene and harmonious in all circumstances. This chapter covers two main topics, the transcendental knowledge and the path of action. It also introduces some other concepts, such as the incarnation of God, the cycle of creation and destruction, the types and benefits of sacrifice, etc. It also lays the foundation for other types of yoga that will be discussed in later chapters.